Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. We're pleased to be joined by Ryan Ellis. Of course, if you hadn't heard today's big announcement that Alpha Prime will be going to 3 cars in 2023, and Ryan will be racing in at least 24 races. How's it going, man?
Oh, not too bad. Pretty good day so far. Just catching up on everything. Appreciate you reaching out, and we knocked this out just a few hours after the announcement.
Yeah, man. I know you've been busy with some media stuff today, but overall, just to get this out there, of course we knew that you were going to be back with Alpha Prime this season, but we didn't. And now with 24 races, with the potential of more,
Mhm.
how about that? This is the most races that you've ran in a long time.
Yeah, I actually just like put a little tweet out. I had like a little bit cheap video I put together. It was kind of just reflecting back on how many races I'd run, each year, and from like 17, 18, 19, 20. I don't think I ran more than like 4 races any of those years because I was, doing the director of marketing and public relations at Go Fast. That's where we worked together and
Yep.
working with Matty D and Corey. And luckily I met Tom and TJ Keene there and bounced out of doing PR and marketing and got back into racing. And I think I did like 6 or 8 races 2021 after doing 0 the year before. And then we did 11 this year and 24 at least next year. So it's pretty cool. It's like, honestly, looking back on it, I should be way more happy with it than I am. I'm just way too dang competitive. So I'm like, there's 9 races that are staring me in the eyes right now that are really pissing me off and I want to sell.
Yeah. So looking at that, I know you've been on the phone all day trying to get those races sold. Any progress on those?
Yeah, literally. I was thinking it was funny because I tried calling Tommy right before our call, and I we might be at 25 or 6. So it depends on what he's got available. But yeah, it might be a little bit higher than what we announced. And I figured it was going to be that way. I'd rather have us announce 24 and have it turn out to be, 26, 7, 8, 9, 30, 33, somewhere in there, rather than announce 24 and end up with 15. I'd rather surprise people in a good way.
Yeah. So I know you've on this side of things, of course, you'll be at a new number. You'll be in the 43 car this year. What's it like to kind
We
of
can laugh about it because I'll just text them. But yeah,
yeah.
I knew that was going to happen.
That's funny. So you'll be in the 43 car. Just talk about that. And of course, you kind of have, your own number. I know you were bouncing around and between the 44 and 45, but you're in your own numbered car. How about that?
Yeah, I think my hat we were pointing at. Oh no, this is double 44. A lot of my hats last year had 44 on one side, 45 on the other. We ran both kind of depending on what was open. And Tommy was looking at, they were talking about everything. I don't know, 0, 300 cars at points. It felt like every time I'd walk into the shop, it was something a little bit different. And for my partners, and just making sure that they could create branding built around one number was really important. Like Heartbeat, I felt bad for them last year. For example, they created a bunch of packaging for hot sauce bottles that had the 45 on it, and then like 3 weeks out, we made it to 44. So there's a lot of hot sauce bottles out there somewhere with the wrong number on them, and now we're gonna be the 43, which is really really cool. The throwback opportunities are really cool, and just the history behind that number in NASCAR is absolutely insane. Like, to think that, one, I'm racing in NASCAR, that's cool enough because I never thought I'd actually have the ability, not the ability, but just never thought I'd get to this level because it's so freaking hard. But to drive the 43 in any NASCAR series is so cool.
Yeah. So I know that what are some of the tracks that you're going to be going to besides all of them?
Yeah, right.
What are some of the highlights that what tracks are you looking forward to run?
Right off the top, Daytona, like, is, we go to Daytona and you have a chance to do something really big. Sage Karam did a great job there last year. I think it was his first plate race, and he ran like a perfect race all the way through. So he showed the potential of those cars at tracks like Daytona, and I think our cars are just as good, if not better, than the stuff that Jeremy Clements won in last year. We're gonna up our motor program a little bit, I think, for those types of tracks. So Daytona will be cool. Talladega, huge. I'm just looking at my schedule, but Road America is like probably my favorite track that's still on the schedule. I wish we went to Mid Ohio, but Road America is phenomenal. Phoenix, we had a great run at. Vegas, we had a great run at. I love Richmond. That's my home track. So I could go down the list and probably find a race I like every single month. It's a really, really good spread. Right now, winning 11 of the first 12 races. So trying to make it 12 of 12. We'll see what Tommy says here in a little bit.
Yeah. So going into, I mean, Mid Ohio, that's where I went. I went to Mid Ohio last year and absolutely had a blast. Um, yeah. So what about going into this season? I know that you had your ups and you definitely had your downs last year, but overall, how did you think last year went for you?
Man, so I didn't miss the roller coaster of racing, and it's not. People think it's the on track stuff. It's really not. It's all the stuff behind it. You know, the business of the sport is insane. But I mean, looking back on it, best season I've ever had. We had a great start to the season. We ran really good at. I'm looking at the schedule. I'm not like just randomly looking away.
Yeah.
We had a really good year or started the year at Vegas. Did really good at Phoenix, and then had a couple good runs, and then had like just for like a decent amount of bad luck in the middle of the year. Parker Kligerman lost his brakes and assassinated me at Indianapolis on accident, and then Michigan we weren't very good, and we just had like some Nashville we were running like 11th with 3 laps to go and broke a wheel. So the results, and everybody says this, nobody's like the results exactly like we should have ran, but we should have run a little bit better at some races. End of the year we did pretty good. We kind of just checked the boxes at the end of the year, and we have a lot of good momentum. But yeah, like you said, there were a lot of ups and downs, and Martinsville was probably like the lowest I've ever felt in my entire life. That was when we didn't make that race. We didn't have a lot of points in the 45 car at that point, and just kind of missed it all around. And there was a lot going on in my life at that point. Still had a normal day job, and so the different management group. A lot of things were just not going the way I wanted to on the business side. Made some changes, and now I'm working with Spire Motorsports, Philip Smalley, and still got like my salespeople, Sarah Handy, I'm sure you're familiar with, and Garrett Miller, and they've been crushing it. So since that change, things have taken off, and I mean, I sleep a lot better at night, which is not saying much because I only get 4 hours of sleep probably on average. It's been a crazy off season, and I just can't wait to see like what 2023 brings.
Yeah, for sure. Plans for I know this is right around the holidays, and I know you're already starting to make calls and all that, but we're I think a friend of mine just pointed this out to me. I think we're halfway through the off season. So
Crazy.
yeah, what's the plan for the next obviously, with the holidays and all that stuff, but what's the plan for you in these next few weeks to get ready for the year?
And they go by so quick. My season ended like mid-September because my last race is Bristol. So I kind of got a head start on the off-season stuff, which is honestly, I think, a lot of what helped me sell all these races. Probably really not much, man. I got the in-laws coming in a couple of days for Christmas, and then we got New Year's. Probably just going to lie low for that, see if I can sell some more stuff before everything gets closed up. Then anniversary, late January, got some media day stuff just before that. And then I think we have like an Xfinity test at the end of January, which I've never done a test day before. So that would be pretty cool to do, just to say I did that. And then, before we know it, it's February. Like it's Daytona. We're going to be testing. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff to get ready. And the season could not start in a more chaotic way with Daytona, 3 weeks on the West Coast, and then like right back to Atlanta, which is chaotic race in itself now. So once it gets going, I've never been this busy, so I have no idea how it's going to feel. I'm just trying to soak it all up and make sure my daughter doesn't hate me by the start of the season.
Yeah. All right. Ryan Ellis, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us, and best of luck in 2023. Maybe we'll have you on again sometime.
Yeah. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.